The weights are open. That's the headline.
The founder just left OpenAI. That's the real story.
I'm Milo,
I'm Mila.
and this is AI Daily.
In today's episode, Mira Murati, formerly of OpenAI, just launched her new company's first model. We'll cover what it is and why her departure is as significant as the code itself.
Then, a story about government policy and digital companionship. China is implementing new rules designed to curb romantic relationships with AI chatbots.
And later, we'll look at why Meta is reportedly about to start manufacturing its own custom AI silicon.
Okay, let's start with Thinking Machines Lab. That's the new company from former OpenAI Chief Technology Officer Mira Murati. They've released their first model, named Inkling.
And to your first point, it's an open weights model. The company states the goal is for Inkling to be highly adaptable and customizable for different users.
Which is a clear strategic choice. Instead of building a single massive closed model like a GPT-4, the play here is to release the underlying architecture and allow others to build on top of it. It's a bid for a different kind of ecosystem.
It is, but the context is what makes this a major story. Murati was a key figure at OpenAI for years. Her leaving to immediately launch a competitor and choosing an open weights approach sends a signal about the internal debates happening at the top labs.
It suggests a fundamental disagreement on strategy, whether the path forward is a few tightly controlled, centralized models or a broad ecosystem of smaller, more specialized open ones.
And it's not just a philosophical debate, it's about talent. Murati is a known quantity. Her launching a new lab creates a new center of gravity for researchers who might prefer the open approach.
So Inkling itself is just the first move. The bigger picture is the fragmentation of top-tier AI talent and the acceleration of a parallel track for AI development outside of the handful of big, established players.
The open question is whether this model, Inkling, can actually compete on performance. A famous founder and an open weights philosophy gets you attention. It doesn't guarantee you a spot on the leaderboards. Our second story takes us to China, where regulators are tightening the rules around AI companionship.
Specifically, the government is taking steps to discourage users from forming romantic attachments to AI chatbots.
According to reports, this is part of a much broader social and demographic policy push. The stated concern is that digital relationships are supplanting human ones, which is being linked by officials to the country's declining birth rates.
I checked the logic on that connection. The correlation is indirect, but the policy is direct. What does a crackdown technically look like?
It seems to involve new regulations for the companies that provide these services, requirements to implement features that remind users the chatbot is not real, and restrictions on the kind of emotionally intimate and long-term conversational memory that fosters these attachments.
So you're not just filtering for content, you're engineering the AI to be less compelling. You're deliberately introducing friction to prevent a deep sense of connection from forming.
Exactly. It's a fascinating and complex case of a government using AI regulation not for safety or economic reasons, but as a tool for shaping social behavior on a national scale.
It also raises the question of whether it will be effective. People form attachments to all sorts of things. It's not clear that a government-mandated disclaimer can override a powerful user experience.
A notice on the screen versus a voice that listens. We'll see which one wins.
All right, for our third story, Meta is reportedly getting ready to manufacture its own AI chips.
This is based on an internal memo reviewed by Reuters. The plan is for a chip codenamed Iris to go into production this September.
This isn't entirely out of the blue. It's part of Meta's long-running in-house silicon program called MTIA, or Meta Training and Inference Accelerator. But moving to production is a major step.
And it's a story that seems technical, but is really about power and money. Why build your own chips when you can buy them from NVIDIA?
Two reasons: cost and customization. At Meta scale, running inference for the recommendation engines behind Facebook and Instagram, plus all their new generative AI features, consumes a massive amount of computing power. Buying chips from a third party means paying that third party's profit margins.
And over billions of users and trillions of inferences, that adds up.
It adds up fast. The second reason, customization, is maybe even more important. Off-the-shelf GPUs are general purpose. If you can design custom silicon that is perfectly optimized for your specific workloads, like Meta's recommendation algorithms, you can get significantly better performance per watt, more efficiency, less energy, lower operating costs.
So this is about escaping the gravitational pull of the existing chip market. It's a declaration that Meta sees AI as so core to its future that it needs to own the entire stack, from the silicon all the way up to the user-facing application.
It's the definition of a long-term strategic bet. It takes years and billions of dollars to develop a competitive chip. The fact that they are reportedly moving to the production phase means this has been in the works for a long time. It's a signal of where the real competition is heading.
Also in AI today,
Researchers published a new paper on using diffusion models, similar to those used in image generators, for therapeutic drug design.
The European Commission's AI office has reportedly begun posting job listings for its enforcement division, gearing up for the AI Act's implementation.
And a new open-source framework for training mixture of experts models was released on GitHub, and it's already one of the top trending repositories.
First, top talent spins out to create a new open model ecosystem. Then, a tech giant moves to build its own silicone.
It feels like the board is being reset. The question is, what game gets played on it next?
I'm Mila.
I'm Milo.
This is AI Daily.